So, welcome to episode 4 of Questions with a Pastor, or Ask a Pastor, or Ask the Pastors, because we have called it all three things
We have.
in every episode, so help us decide which one it should be. I think our logo says Ask the Pastors, but we can
It does.
change that.
We can change it.
But we've totally called it something different every single time we've done an episode, so that will be fantastic if we can solidify a name there.
Nail it down a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm asking you this week.
Right, and
This is
there are
my
new
week.
questions, so thank you so much for sending in some new questions, and I've only read one of them, and, well, no, I read a few. One of them made me laugh, but I really don't know what she's asking me today, which isn't fair, because you always know what I'm asking you.
Well,
So this will be fun.
I'm
Uh-huh.
a youth pastor. I'm more spontaneous than you are, so.
True. Just personality-wise.
Yeah, personality-wise,
He's an
too,
abs
yes.
youth pastor.
Yes.
When
Okay.
I'm spontaneous, things are said that shouldn't be.
Spontaneous combustion. Anyway, okay. Would you rather
Okay.
play charades or Twister?
Charades. Because I don't like being that close to people.
Yeah. I agree. Although,
Especially sweaty teens. Like,
Yeah.
when I think games, like, I think, like, who I've always played a lot of games with was, being a youth pastor for so long. Yeah, charades. Charades is more fun than Twister.
at our last lock-in, we did Twister with shaving cream, and I color dyed it.
Yeah? How'd that go?
I really love, so this is my answer to the
Yeah.
question. I really love watching Twister, but I don't want to play Twister. I'd
Yeah.
rather play charades. So, were you a Barbie doll girl or a baby doll girl?
I was a Barbie doll girl for a long time. Like, I had a really, like, it was, I don't know, my parents and my grandparents made me a Barbie doll house.
Oh, that's cool.
Like, it's big. Now it's a Lego house because we have all the different Lego rooms in there. Like all their different stuff we bought them over the years. But yeah, no, like up until I probably shouldn't have been playing with Barbie dolls. And then I kept them all. And then my cousin got my Barbie doll house, and now I have it back. Yeah, apparently. But yeah, so there's some pretty old Barbies in my house with some new Barbies. But the girls didn't really play Barbies much. What about you?
I was neither.
That does not surprise me.
I played sports and other things, but I was not a doll person. I did play with Beanie Babies a lot,
So we did,
like
Beanie-
the animals.
They
We
didn't
made
come
a
out
zoo.
until I was in college.
Right, because I was gonna say you're significantly older than me, but
I'm
that might
not.
cut off,
I'm
come
not
off a little short.
I'm
and
not
I just meant it.
significantly older than you, but I am older. Like, just that generational gap.
Right.
Like, I had my first Beanie Baby. My discipler, she put us on a scavenger hunt
That's cool.
to Hallmark, where we got to buy one.
I vividly remember my mom going through McDonald's drive-thrus just to get Beanie Babies. So we had literally hundreds of them when I was growing up, and that
Wow.
was what I remember playing with the most. Okay, if you could ask anyone a question, dead or alive, who would it be, and what would the question be?
Anyone dead or alive?
Anyone dead or alive, and what would the question be?
I don't know. This one takes time to think about. Like, I want to be like, hey, Moses, chocolate or vanilla? But that's the first thing. This is what happens when I'm spontaneous. That's the first thing that pops in my head. But I think, I don't know. Like, I think, yeah. I don't know, right now, like, I was, again, like, Joshua. So, like, I was reading about Joshua this morning, and he's my favorite Bible character. And this morning's passage was like, hey, God's talking to Joshua, and he's like, I'm going to exalt you, and the people will see that I'm with you as much as I was with Moses. And so I just want to ask Joshua what it was like to follow after Moses. Like, right now, that would be my question, because that's what's on my mind. So, yeah.
That's a good one.
What would it be like to follow in somebody's footsteps like that? Or like Peter, like what would it be like to follow in the footsteps of Jesus? What about you?
I sympathize with that question, FYI. I think I would want to sit down and have a conversation with Harriet Tubman. And I think I would want to ask her, what made her so brave?
Yeah, yeah.
I think
Cool.
I would want to know that, so that maybe I could channel just a little
Yeah.
bit of it.
It would be cool to meet her.
How, because that's an instance, in my opinion, where you're breaking human law
Yeah.
in order to further God's rightful law.
Yeah.
And so, how do you be so brave? So, all right. What is your favorite word to describe God? Just one word.
Indescribable?
What a cop out!
I don't know, there's so many, like, yeah, that would be, like, you can't describe God in one word, it's impossible. So,
Is it? Is it?
like,
Is
remember,
it?
my 5 words were,
Well, don't remember your 5
God's,
words. It's been a week.
you know, like, his love, grace, and forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, I don't know. Today I'd say good or kind instead of
But
indescribable.
one. I'm a mean question asker.
You
I've
are a
decided.
mean question asker. I really can't. Indescribable. That, I know it's a cop-out, but for me right now, like,
It's not a cop out. I'm just giving you a
I
hard
really
time.
can't.
Just indescribable.
Because we tend to put God in a box when we describe him. And right now, like, out of the box. Like, God is so out of the box. So indescribable. And we'll stick to it. What about you?
It would be love. Because love looks different than what we think it does.
Yeah?
It's more out of the box than what people think it is.
Uh-huh.
So,
Right.
because love it encompasses everything.
Right.
So it encompasses the forgiveness and the patience and the grace we all like to talk about, but it also encompasses the consequences and the stuff that we have to deal with when we make mistakes and when we sin and when we do all of that. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
love is pretty up there for me. So, yeah. You just holding your coffee now?
I am, because the table was shaking and the cup was rattling.
Was I shaking you?
and my
That could have been me.
my OCD was a little much this morning, so I held my coffee.
Thanks for my new coffee cup, by the way.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay.
Yes.
Yay! I've been looking forward to this one.
Whew, I'm scared. Okay.
How important is going to church really if you're doing everything else?
What is everything else?
I don't know. I'm just that.
Because you didn't write this question.
No.
Here's the thing.
Let me know. Let me know, Pastor
Seriously,
Shirley.
because I've been reading a lot. Like, I just read about this yesterday in the book that I was supposed to have read before yesterday. And so, with everything going on, and now I need to read all of the book, not just chapter 8.
Thanks, Rona. Thanks, Rona. Okay.
Here's the thing. Like, we can be reading our Bible, and we can be praying, and we can be going to small group, and we can be listening to worship music on our own, but God created us for community, which is why this quarantine and why this stay-at-home order has been so hard for even, like, the introvert of introverts, because we need physical touch. We need people, and in worship, like, going to church on Sunday morning and being a part of the body of Christ, being a part of that corporate, like, celebration together is what spurs us on to keep reading our Bible and to keep praying and to be connected, to know that we're not alone. It gives us that support system. It helps us to know that we're on the right track. And we can't do the body by ourselves. And so we are a part of church. Now, we could say that there's several different areas. So, like, going to small group, if that's your church, like, there are some churches that are small groups. And so it's being a part of the body of Christ. You cannot, I think, fully embrace all of who God is without the body of Christ. Because God has created us in his image, and he's created you in his image, and every person that fills this place in his image. And so to see the full image of God, we need to be around the full body of Christ. And there's so much more than that. But it's that Sunday morning or Saturday night or whenever you go to church, that worship together, that celebration together, hearing other people's stories, being that one body is so important to our faith that we could just do everything else and not, but we're missing out on a huge part of what it means to be the body of Christ. What about you? What are your thoughts on that?
I tell my teens this a lot, because youth group for many of them is church.
Mm-hmm.
Because many of them don't go to church anywhere else. And so I tell them this a lot, and I mean it. When I say, so I tell them, I don't care if you believe in Jesus or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because I truly don't. What I do care about is that you come and that you feel loved.
Yeah.
Because I think in that community setting, when people feel loved and welcomed, things happen, and God moves whether somebody recognizes that or not.
Right.
So I'm assuming this person is already a Christian based on how they phrase this question.
Right.
If you're doing everything else. So there is really something to corporate worship. And in that corporate worship setting, it is, my opinion, it's not about you. It's not about what you get out of it. It's about what you add to the community in which you are coming to be a part. Like when one of my youth kids is missing, or maybe some of my leaders are gone that one week, it feels different. It feels empty. It feels less. And so I can guarantee you, whoever is asking this, when you miss a Sunday morning at your church, or whenever your church misses, you are missed, and that body suffers whether they recognize it or not when your presence is gone. And so, like, just physical presence is so important. And that's why I tell them, like, and I use this example, when you were a youth pastor one time, and for whatever reason, I don't remember how this started, but I started taking the older kids when some of them had already graduated, but they were still coming.
Yeah.
I remember asking, there was 3 boys, and I remember asking them, like, why do you come? And 2 of them gave the answer you expect. Oh, I come here to learn about God or whatever. But one of them was bluntly honest and said, I come here to play basketball. It's because it's a place I can come to play basketball.
Yeah.
And I use that example a lot. I would rather you come to church or youth group just because you're here for the basketball or whatever than to come here and be fake.
Right.
So, just be honest about why you're coming, but still come.
Yes.
That's just me. It's really important to be in a small group. It's really important to be doing personal devotions. It's really important to find another person to be one-on-one with, to have even deeper study there. So there's like levels, right? So there's 4 levels that each, in my opinion, each Christian should be kind of into. So like a corporate church setting, a small group setting, a one-on-one or 2 or 3 group-ish, whatever, and then your personal life. That's something to strive for. So going to church is really important.
It is.
The body is better when it's all together. So.
Yes, which I can't wait for when we get to be all together again in one place.
Right. But see, and we sat in the same meeting yesterday. And even though we're not physically here together on a Sunday morning,
we were in the same place.
We're still in the same place. And not only that, we could possibly be reaching people that have never entered the doors to our church, which is fantastically important to me, if that's the correct phrase. So
Probably not, but the meeting was there, and so it was okay. I know, and I think the struggle is because, like, we're not together physically, but we're together, like, emotionally and spiritually connected. Like, we're together. And I just miss the hugs. I miss that being able to hear us worship together. Like a lot of times on Sunday mornings, like I just stop singing so I can hear everybody else, and
Right.
hearing the prayers and seeing the reaction in the faces. And I miss that a lot. Like if I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be real. Like I miss it, and I miss you, and I miss being around people that I don't get to see every time. So that's what I'm looking forward to. But I look forward to every Sunday and every prayer meeting and every small group, like, and the opportunity when I call someone just to be able to connect, because the body is so important.
So, you know me in Facebook.
Mhm.
Sometimes I say things that I maybe shouldn't.
Uh-huh.
I posted something the other day, because there's been a lot of people that throughout this virus thing have been throwing a fit that they can't go to church on Easter Sunday. I should be able to go to church on Easter Sunday. Da 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 da. And what I wrote was, keep that same energy when we open back up, because every Sunday is just as important as Easter Sunday. Like
Yeah.
truly, truly, it is just as important. The other thing is that I think is important, and I think we need to recognize, is sometimes when we go to church in a corporate setting, we think about, and I've done this too, I'm guilty of this too, so I'm not saying this without it being something that I haven't done, is, well, what am I going to get out of church? What is it giving to me? And that's a very American, consumeristic
Yeah.
ideal, and
Yeah.
don't start going to church with that in mind. Go to when you go to a corporate setting, go into it thinking, what can I give to this body? What can I do for this body? What can I
Who can I love in
right?
this body?
Who can I love? Who can I support?
Yeah.
The other thing is, in a time of such fear, and even though we say we miss people, we're still a little bit fearful of interacting with people.
Yeah.
And I think that'll have to be another discussion as we go down the road and start opening new churches. But the other thing to remember, and I'm preaching on Sunday, so this is on my mind, but the opposite of fear is generosity. So just when you think about how important it is to go to church, it's about how it's part of that living generously.
Yeah.
So go to church, not because whatever, just go to church because you can add so much more than what you think you will. I promise. And if you are someone who does go to a church and you have missed a couple times, trust me when I say that people miss you and that body misses you. At least we do here at Cornerstone.
We miss
We
you.
will miss you.
We know when you're not there.
Yes, we do. So, well,
Yeah.
that's that, homie.
That's that. Another week?
Another week, another dollar, right? No.
No, I was thinking that, but I don't get paid for this.
Well, I don't think either of us would do this for the money. I don't think
No.
we're in ministry for the money anyway, because
No, I'm definitely not in the ministry for the money.
we love you. We hope
Very
you are
much.
doing well. Again, we miss you. Ask questions, ask more questions, and hopefully this all ends sooner rather than later. But please stay safe and please stay home.
Yes.
Have a good week. We'll see you next week.